We'll start in about eight or 9 minutes. And if you just happen to be in here, please at least sign in. All right. There's my buddy Chillo. There's me. Um, let's see here. We're just going to play the launch from yesterday of SpaceX from Vandenberg, California. It's about a 16-minute video. It's a beautiful launch and landing. Well, I can do at least this. Cheers. Get your big cup of coffee. All right. I'm wearing AirPods, so I can get up, walk around, go outside. There's a SpaceX launch here in Florida tomorrow morning at around, I believe, 4:30 in the morning. Stay. I'm out in the kitchen right now. check, so I have some Amazon packages delivered today. Huh? All right, I got 2 of them so far. Ah, that's what it was. It said Chillo's Hall Alert. I'm going to start the video in a couple minutes. Let me get him a treat. There you go. Put the packages up on his bed. Start the video of the launch in a couple minutes. I do have some countdown leaders. Countdown for the stream. I didn't do that, so we're just gonna start. Look, 30-minute thing here. SpaceX launches, NASA launches, what's in the sky. We'll talk, but today we're just going to focus on the space. SpaceX right now. The sun, sunspots, the moon, comets. Do a couple shows during the week. 10 or 20 or 30 minutes. I'm lucky here because I'm only about 30 miles as the crow flies from the launch pads over in Cape Kennedy and Canaveral. Actually, Cape Kennedy and Canaveral is one and the same. And one reason why I'm kind of talking choppy right now because I can hear myself over the headphones. That's like walking and chewing gum. All right. Why don't we pipe up this movie? And we'll start.
Nice launch trajectory and countdown net. Pad is clear.
10, 9, 8.
Launch auto sequence has started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed. Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Cool.
Starlink launch webcast. My name is Zachary Lupin, and I'll be your host for today's Starlink mission, which marks SpaceX's 45th launch of the year and 244th overall mission to date. The Falcon 9 rocket, which you can kind of see on your screen through the marine layer, is currently at Vandenberg Space Force Base's Space Launch Complex 4 East in California, awaiting liftoff at 12:29 p.m. Pacific Time. At T-minus 4 minutes and 40 seconds, the weather is green and the range is ready to support. Teams are currently tracking no issues with the vehicle or the spacecraft. Coming up shortly, we should see the clamp arms on the strong back opening up. Those clamp arms are located just below the payload fairing. And it might not be totally visible because of that marine layer. The strong back or transporter erector is the truss structure next to the rocket that is used for rollout and to route propellants and electrical power to the vehicle in preparation for launch.
What time is it?
And you can just make out the strong back retracting on your screen there. Now coming up next at T-minus 3 minutes, we should hear that stage 1 has completed liquid oxygen loading.
Stage 1, lock load is complete.
At T-minus 3 minutes, the Falcon 9 first stage is fully loaded with Rocket Propellant 1, or RP1, and liquid oxygen, or LOX, and we're awaiting completion of LOX load on the second stage in about 45 seconds from now. Now, aside from the marine layer, you may also see some white clouds around the vehicle. Those white clouds are chilled gas above the LOX tank liquid surface that we vent overboard to maintain pressure in the tank as needed. And when that gas comes out into the California air, the humid, moist air condenses into clouds and water. Coming up shortly, we should hear a call out that LOX loading is complete on the second stage.
Two minutes?
The booster, or first stage of the rocket that you see on your screen, is flying for its 12th time today. After liftoff and stage separation, this booster is scheduled to land on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean. As many of you may...
Stage 2, LOX load is complete.
And there's that call out that stage 2 LOX loading is complete. Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen. Now, as many of you may already know, successfully recovering parts of our rockets allows SpaceX to refly the most expensive pieces, which in turn drives down the cost of space access. Coming up in about 10 seconds from now, we should hear a call out that Falcon 9 is in startup, which means the flight computers have taken over the launch countdown.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And there's that call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. In a few seconds, we should hear our launch director, or LD, give the final go for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And there's that go from the launch director to proceed with today's mission. So let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 48 Starlink satellites into space.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Let's get ready to rumble!
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And liftoff of Starlink 513. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
That's the fuel tank.
At T plus 30 seconds, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Slick 4 East from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California at 12:29 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, the next major milestone coming up is Max Q, which is when the vehicle experiences
Power and telemetry nominal.
which is when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of external stresses as it ascends through the Earth's atmosphere.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
And there's that call out that Falcon 9 is supersonic, which means that the rocket is traveling faster than the speed of sound. We should hear that call out for Max Q shortly.
Max Q.
And there's that call out for Max Q, which again is when the rocket experiences the largest amount of external stresses.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Now we are just about 1 minute away from a series of events: main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start 1, and then lastly fairing separation. MECO, or main engine cutoff, is where all 9 of the Merlin 1D engines on the first stage shut down. That's followed by stage separation when the first and second stages separate. SES-1, or second engine start 1, is where we light the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. And lastly, fairing separation is when the 2 fairing halves separate and fall away from the second stage. So let's keep an eye out for those events, which will happen in quick succession.
I'll quit playing around.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
And as you just saw and heard over the nets, we had successful MECO, stage sep, and
Fairing
SES-1.
separation confirmed.
And there's that confirmation of fairing separation from the second stage. We will be attempting to recover both fairing halves using our recovery vessel, Go Beyond. Both of the fairing halves that supported today's mission are flight proven, with one half flying for its 4th time and the other half flying for its 7th time.
Amazon delivery. To the rescue.
On the left side of your screen right now is our Falcon 9 first stage, and on the right side is the MVAC engine on our second stage, currently carrying the Starlink satellites to orbit. Currently, the first stage is on its way back to Earth towards our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is located in the Pacific Ocean. The MVAC engine attached to the second stage is continuing its burn, which will last about another 4.5 minutes.
Good doggy.
As a reminder, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe.
Vehicles on a nominal trajectory.
And as I mentioned earlier, today's Starlink mission marks SpaceX's 244th mission overall and the 45th mission just this year. Coming up next in the mission is the entry burn on the first stage, which is the first of 2 burns it will go through in preparation for landing. We should see that stage 1 entry burn start in just under a minute from now.
What's the weather right now?
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's that call out for the stage 1 entry burn, which you can see on the left side of your screen there.
Vehicles on a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1, which we also call the booster, has ignited 3 engines to slow it down for atmospheric re-entry.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there's that call out that the entry burn on the first stage has completed. Coming up next is the landing burn on the first stage, which is the second and final burn in preparation for landing.
Stage 1, FTS has saved.
Stage 1 transonic.
And there's that call out that the first stage is transonic, which means it is traveling near the speed of sound. Coming up in about 20 seconds from now, we should see the stage 1 landing burn start on the left side of your screen.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Ooh, look at that.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there's confirmation that the stage 1 landing burn has started in preparation for touchdown on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, in the Pacific Ocean. We should also hear that call out for SECO, or second engine cutoff, in a few moments.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Look at that. Look at that.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Cool.
And if you can hear that cheering, everyone here at Hawthorne is very excited. This Falcon 9 first stage is now successfully launched and landed for its
Yay.
12th time. We also heard that call out for SECO 1.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there's confirmation of good orbit. Today's landing marks our 205th overall landing of an orbital class rocket, including Falcon 9.
I'm going to stop the video here. You can see the path of the Falcon right now. Now, if you look there, you can see where the landing barge is. It's pretty far away. All right, let me keep on going here.
Missions. And with confirmation of successful first stage landing and second engine cutoff and orbital insertion, that wraps up our coverage for now. So be sure to check our social media for confirmation of Starlink satellite deployment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Amazing. And we'll talk about this in a minute. Alrighty, that was a nice launch. Let me explain that next show coming up is Volcano X live stream, and your host is Doc or Dr. Fox 2000. He's very articulate. You'd be surprised in how many volcanoes. Right now they're doing a watch right now, I guess in Iceland. It's got like 4 cameras and they're waiting for this eruption right now. So the link to his show is in the description below the video. So show up there. We all have fun there. All right. I'm going to show you the flight path out of California there. You can just barely see it. And apparently, we didn't get to see the launch of the Starlinks because usually there's about 30 of them. No, 60 of them. I'm sorry. And within the first couple weeks, if those satellites pass overhead where you're at, there's 60 of them close together. It looks like a bright string going across the sky. I've caught a few of them. It's a sight to see. Now let's see what the next launches are. This is from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Sunday, July 9th at 4:36 a.m. That's tomorrow. I'm going to get it. I'm not going to live stream it. I'm going to get out and capture it in 4K and then put it together and put it on YouTube. After that is Falcon Heavy. I guess the Jupiter 3. I should have checked what that was. It's probably a satellite. And that's in Cape Kennedy. Canaveral and Kennedy basically are the same thing. And that's on the 23rd. That's a Sunday. 11:04 p.m. And that's a big rocket. And then we have another Falcon 9. And these are 2 satellites that are going to be deployed. That's going to be Sunday, July 30th, 8 p.m. Cape Canaveral. Hopefully by then I have everything set up so we can see what it looks like live from where I'm at. I'm about 30 to 40 miles north west of the Cape. Actually, I can see it all the way in Tampa, and depending on the path of these launches, I can see them all the way up the eastern coast board, and I've tracked one all the way up to almost Maine from here. All right, and then after that, it's 30th. Now, there's about 10 underneath here. They all say July 30th. So, more than likely, they don't know if that's going to be the date. And after that is another Falcon 9 Starlink group from Cape Canaveral. And that one says July 30th, 8 p.m. So, let's go down here. I gotta do all this switching. Okay, that's the flight path of the launch we just saw. All right. Hey, Gary. Gary's in the chat right now. Okay, we're going to close out in a second here. Yeah, let's see what we got going. What was I going to do? Let me move this slide up here. Give me a second. I should have had this all together. Of course, you always plan completely. This is the first time I've done this, so Chillo wants to say goodbye. Chillo is right here. I'm going to bother him for a second. Hello, Chillo. And here I am. And I'll try to put a couple more shows together this week. You know, we just get our feet wet and go from there. So for now, those who joined us, thank you for joining. And we'll see you at the next live stream.